Hello, my 702s. I hope you guys are doing well. Yes, I know some of you are 808s and 907s, but the majority of you are 702s, and that's where you live now. So you'll live through me saying that. Anyway, this is your video lesson for August the 29th and 30th of 2022 for Geoscience class. Okay, so let's see. Let's start out here. I'm supposed to give you guys a social emotional lesson every week. I'm going to start with this one from good old Rocky Balboa.
You ain't gonna believe this. But you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching every day we had the privilege. When the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Excuse me there. Okay. Oh, sorry. The Barrett's is getting me. Alright, so this is just my take on the message there. On a side note, remember, impressing people, a lot of you are in high school. A lot of you live to try to impress other people. But impressing people is not the same as being impressive, okay? We'll talk about that a little more in class. But again, from the video, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, all right? Some of you are in various life situations that are not going too well for you right now. And remember, you can always come talk to me about that if you want to. However, I just want you to remember, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, all right? That is your message there from Mr. Balboa. All right? So don't play the victim. That's what cowards do. Remember, when you play the victim, you are expecting other people to change their behavior and actions, okay? Can you control the way other people behave? No. Can you change the way other people speak, their choices? No. You can only choose how you respond, okay? Take responsibility for yourself, your own actions, your own choices, your own behavior. Don't play the victim. Take responsibility for yourself and move forward, okay? All right, you're going to hear the scrubs in class and in the hallway, everywhere, bragging about how hard they can hit, okay? They're being loud and needy for attention, all right? The real deal can get hit hard, stays quiet, doesn't need to brag about it, keeps moving forward, okay? Again, we'll talk about more about that later. All right, so now we're going to get into the science content. This is the standard we are talking about today. We're going to talk about the elements involved in nuclear fusion within stars, as well as how stars are an essential part of our life and in the universe. Okay, so what is something besides the Earth that we cannot, as a species, survive without? I'm sure you know by now, it is the sun. However, I want you to think beyond that. Think about what is going on within the sun. Are you, as a human, dependent upon nuclear fusion in order to survive? Yes, you are, because that is what powers the sun, okay? Is the sun a star? Yes. I have some students that get hung up on that sometimes. The sun is, in fact, a star. What type of star is it? It is a main sequence star. There's two types of stars we are going to talk about. If your main sequence star and your massive star. Main sequence star could also be called an average star. Again, we'll get into that in a little bit, but just remember, for our purposes today, the sun is in fact a star. It is just our personal star. Okay, we're going to watch this video real quick about what would happen if somebody unplugged the sun.
Your alarm clock goes off. You rise, stretch, look out the window. Another bright, sunny morning. You're walking the dog when all of a sudden it goes dark. Poof! Like God turned off a gigantic light switch. You look up into the sky and you can see a few distant stars, but the sun is gone. The automatic streetlights come on as you rush home. What's going on? Reports on the internet and TV seem to indicate that the sun's burned out, but that couldn't happen, right? The sun couldn't suddenly extinguish, could it? What would happen to humanity if it did? How long could we survive if the sun went out? There have been a couple of times throughout history where natural phenomena has affected the sun's ability to reach and warm the earth. Notably, this happened in 1816, which became widely known as the year without the summer. On April 10, 1815, Mount Tambora in Indonesia erupted, spewing an estimated 9.8 cubic miles or 10 billion tons of pyroclastic ash into the atmosphere, along with several gases including carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and hydrogen fluoride. Ultimately, the volcanic eruption caused severe climate abnormalities for the next few years, including limited sun and a lack of summer in the northern hemisphere in 1816. In New England, there were several large snowfalls in June. Lakes stayed iced over for the entire year in parts of Pennsylvania. Salem, Massachusetts had triple digits in early July, but on the 4th of July, reports indicate that the temperature fell into the 30s and 40s. In August, a hard freeze dominated New Hampshire and Maine. The temperature fluctuations were detrimental to crops around the world and ultimately caused famine in many regions. Famine led to disease and a cholera epidemic, killing millions. Mass migration happened as people tried to escape food shortages. The year without a summer also led to religious revivals as apocalyptic preachers thought the world was ending and urged people to get right with God. The surface of the sun is an astonishing 5,800 degrees Kelvin, hot enough to melt or vaporize any substance known to man, including diamond or graphite. Thankfully, the Earth is roughly 93 million miles away from the sun, where the temperatures are much cooler. The sun is just far enough away from Earth to create ideal temperatures for supporting life. Scientifically, the sun wouldn't just stop burning and go up. When stars die, they expand. Most likely, the sun will expand into a red giant star and vaporize the inner planets of our solar system, including the Earth, as it collapses and dies. However, the sun evolving into a red giant star will take 7 or 8 billion years, so don't worry too much about this happening. However, let's pretend that the sun suddenly just disappeared. Citizens of the Earth actually wouldn't know what happened for a few minutes because the last of the sun's rays would still be on their way to our planet. Depending on where the Earth is in its orbit, at the speed of light, which is roughly 671 million miles an hour, light from the sun reaches the Earth in just under 8.5 minutes. So if the sun suddenly disappeared, it would be 8.5 minutes before the Earth went dark. After that, depending on where you are in the world, you would be able to see the moon and the planets in our solar system for the next several hours until the residual sunlight stopped reflecting. The sky would definitely be darker than normal because we're used to ambient light coming from the moon. Distant stars would continue to shine, and we would continue to have man-made light as electricity would continue to work for a while. The Earth would immediately begin to cool. Within about a week of the sun vanishing, Earth's average surface temperature would drop to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. After a year without sun, the temperature would be negative 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Over time, the Earth would become an ice planet. Rivers, lakes, and oceans would freeze on the surface. Depending on depth, the water underneath would continue to remain liquid for thousands of years, insulated by the surface ice. Just as much of a problem as the cold is that crops, in fact, most plant life would rapidly die. Without the sun, photosynthesis would immediately cease. The majority of plants would be dead within a few weeks. Large, healthy trees could possibly survive for several decades without photosynthesis due to slow metabolism and substantial sugar stores. However, that assumes that the trees wouldn't be decimated for food or kindling. Plants are autotrophs, or primary producers in the food chain, so as they die off, herbivores would quickly fall. Then they would be followed by carnivores. Scavenger, your alarm clock goes off.
Hey, you guys get the idea? If we lose the sun, we go extinct. Okay, so have any of you here ever broken a bone? And no, I don't mean someone else's bone. Last year I had a student who said they broke someone else's arm. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your own bones. All right, so how does a bone heal within your body? The two ends slowly fuse together and become one. All right, so what does it mean when we say something fuses together? The atoms, molecules, everything at the microscopic level between the two bones slowly grow back together, okay? So we're talking about two things coming together, becoming one, fusing together into one piece, all right? We're going to watch this last little video clip. We're going to use an illustration from the movie The Program. It's a football movie to help us understand nuclear fusion, all right? So just like you saw these linemen in that video smashing together, let's just imagine that two linemen smash together, their helmets get stuck together, they become one. All right, well, just like that, nuclear fusion, what happens is you have two hydrogen atoms, they smash together, they release some energy, and they have one nucleus now with two protons, thus they become helium. All right. So remember, the number of protons in an atom determines what its identity is. If it has one proton, it is hydrogen. If it has two, it is helium. Okay, so what again is happening? This is what fuels our star, aka the sun. You have hydrogen being fused together into helium. When that fusion happens, you have all of this energy that is released, and that is what reaches the Earth and helps us live. Okay, so again, you guys just saw me do this, but just for an illustration, this is for my kinesthetic learners out there like me. I want you guys to put your hands up and cup them and then smash them like this. Well, okay. Make sure they are stuck together afterwards. For those of you who are in jiu-jitsu, kind of like gable grip. All right, so smash them together, and they are stuck, okay? So when you do that, just think of two hydrogen atoms smashing together, becoming helium, okay? They smash together, they become helium. That is nuclear fusion. Is that sound that you just heard energy? Yes, in fact it is, okay? So think of that sound that is going out just kind of like the energy that is reaching the Earth, that is providing photosynthesis and other processes on the planet and helps us live, okay? All right, so we just talked about that. Just remember, again, hydrogen is being fused into helium. All right, so let's see. Since nuclear fusion is the fuel of the stars and our sun, would it be logical to assume that we should know something about it since we as a species are dependent upon it for life? In my view, yes, that is why we study it, all right? So that right there will give you a bit of information about photosynthesis and what would happen as well, like we talked about earlier. If the sun went out, what would happen to the planet? All right, as far as stars go, we're just going to get a little bit into it today, but what I need you guys to know, there are two different sizes of stars that we are going to look at here. All right, so just like in this illustration, they all start out as a stellar nebula, and from there they go one of two paths, okay? They can either become an average star or a main sequence star, that is what our sun is, or they can become a massive star, okay? So the average star then turns into a red giant. and then a planetary nebula, and then a white dwarf. Now, a massive star, which is not our sun is an average star. Massive star turns into a red supergiant. The key difference is right here. Instead of going into a planetary nebula, it becomes a supernova, which is a large, it implodes, then explodes, okay? So what is significant about a supernova, and this is something you guys need to know, all of your elements in the universe that are heavier than iron on the periodic table. So if you want to know about this, go and Google the periodic table. So you can go to the P table right here, and iron is number 26 on the periodic table. All of your elements heavier than iron, higher than 26, are produced in a supernova explosion. All right? So make sure you know that. That is something key you will need to know about supernova. It is not just a song by Liz Phair. It is also a cycle in the sequence of a massive star. Okay? So after a supernova, it becomes either a neutron star or a black hole. Okay? So just know that there are two routes we're looking at for the life cycle of a star. Either an average or main sequence star, could be called either one, or a massive star. And then know this difference right here. Again, we're going to go over that in a little bit, but only supergiant stars can produce elements heavier than iron. Okay, so now that we know the basis of what fuels a star, nuclear fusion, and I'm going to have you guys do a couple of projects. Well, actually, one project and one assignment, okay? Don't worry, they're not too bad. Make sure you keep the vibe quiet. So, this is not a team or group project. It's not one of those deals where one or two people do all the work and everybody else gets all the credit. You have to do your own work. All right, so for today, I'm going to need you guys to go to the quizzes and then the assignments tab to do the following, okay? So first, go and do the stars and the formations of the elements. So when you are in here, go to quizzes, and you are going to go to stars and the formations of the elements. My screen's going to look a little bit bigger than yours, but watch the following crazy long video. I mean, this video is horrendously long. It's an entire 3 minutes and 42 seconds, okay? After that, you're going to go down and answer this essay-style question. A lot of you guys like to go, well, how much do I need to write? As long as you answer the question, that's how much you need to write, okay? Just make sure you check your spelling and grammar. When I ask you to do that, think, what is he subconsciously training me for that I will do lots of after high school, okay? All right, after that, you guys will need to go to this one, Life Cycle of a Star Poster Project. So that is in the assignments. You will find it here. Okay. So, what you are going to need for this, all of the information is in here, but you are going to need a piece of paper. You can grab one off my desk, or you can use your own. You're going to draw something on both sides of the paper. Both sides of the paper. On both sides of the paper. You need to take a marker or something and write your name really big, okay? So that way I can see it in the photo and I know it's your work, and you don't do that thing that all those smart and clever students that came long before you never ever did, where you put your name on somebody else's project and turn it in, because nobody's ever thought of that before, okay? But anyway, on one side you are going to draw this drawing right here, okay? Nuclear fusion. Draw it, label it, color it. Colored pencils are over under the yucca tree, all right? Draw it, label it, color it. That is on one side. Then you will flip it over and you will draw the life cycle of a star. Now, you are probably wondering, what should I exactly draw? Well, click on that link right there. Here is a nice little Prezi. You can do one of two things. You can either draw this one here, or this is very, very easy. You go to Google. Google life cycle of a star. Once it comes up, go to images, pick this first one right here. This is the one we were looking at earlier. You can draw this right here. Yes, both cycles, both things. Draw it, color it, label it. Then you are going to take a picture of it, and you are going to upload both sides, okay? Take a picture of one side, label it, turn it in. Take a picture of the other side, turn it in. If you don't know how to take a picture, you can take one with your Chromebook. There's a video right here that will tell you how to do that, okay? All right, so that is your assignment for today. I think that is all I have for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please come up and see me at the desk or raise your hand. I'll come around to help you, or you can email me. As you know, my email is listed on the front of the Canvas page. All right, that is all I have for you. Thank you and have a good day.